Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody from JL Unlimited Radio Show. I have an unprecedented, and I mean unprecedented, interview here with you. You guys are really extremely going to like this. If you like motorcycle racing, if you like motorcycles in general, if you like Yamaha, let's per se, in general, you are going to like who I'm talking with right now. Team owner, team principal, team manager. You wear so many hats, I won't even go there. Chuck Graves, as the applause streams in. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just enjoying myself here at the races at Road Atlanta. Looking forward to New Jersey coming up.
Yes, definitely. I'm looking forward toward that too. Lots of good track record there at New Jersey.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
Yeah. Jersey's been really good to us.
Yes.
We're excited. Moto America Series is growing. We've got some great new TV coverage on beIN Sports. So if you don't have beIN Sports, you should get beIN Sports. You can
get now.
Yeah, exactly. Get all of the races.
BEING.com, if I remember right. BEIN.com. Yeah, beIN Sports.
Or you can go to Go90 if you have Verizon, and you can get some of the live streaming on your phone there. You can
live
set up
streaming.
And do that at
Come
Go90.
on now. You can't get any better than live streaming.
Yeah, so there'll be all of the stuff that's being played. I haven't actually got on that app, the Go90 app, but many of the guys in the paddock have. And
so it's tested.
And you can go to Moto America and you can get live timing and scoring too, MotoAmerica.com.
Love it. Since we're here with you, Unprecedented 101, me and you have never really conversed before. I know you know plenty of people. So for me here to sit talk with you in your own $1 million garage, I kind of call it, with plenty of parts all over here that is worth billions of dollars, I want to say personally thank you for taking this interview with me and with us, and definitely showing the new people who just joined on, or track day riders who are new to road racing in general, or just getting into the buzz. This is the person I would like to just ask a bajillion questions to. One of them being the easiest one. How did you start Grave Motorsports, and why?
That's a really interesting story. I grew up in Los Angeles, and there weren't, it's not like you had open roads but there were a couple of dirt fields, where you had a building that was shut down, or somebody had torn it down and no one's built something up new. And we had mini bikes, and you rode them all through the suburbs. You rode them up and down the streets, and
mini bikes of terror.
Well, that's right. You terrorize the neighborhoods on mini bikes, and we would find the nearest dirt field, and we would, we'd have as much fun as we could. We'd go to the baseball diamonds and turn those into racetracks. Of course, I'm not suggesting you do that. I'm just saying that's what happened. But so I grew up, riding motorcycles in and around Los Angeles, and as I got a little bit older, I realized I really enjoyed. I needed to fix the bikes that were broken.
Right.
Just so I could keep riding, and so I took a course in motorcycle mechanics.
I was about to say, obviously, at that point, you didn't have a mechanic.
Correct. Yeah, they had a program when I was in high school, in the first year of high school, where you could go to the occupational trade school.
So let me put this in perspective. You're about a 15, 16, maybe a 17-year-old.
Yeah, that's right. 15, 14, 15, 16.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so I took a course in, 2 periods. At, the last 2 periods of the day, I'd go and I'd take this motorcycle mechanics course and earn credits towards the high school diploma.
Right.
And I enjoyed it so much, I stayed on after I graduated out of high school, got my motorcycle mechanics degree.
Wow.
And which was, it gave you the basics, and you got the opportunity to
tire change, oil change,
engines, boring cylinders, redoing valve jobs.
That's not basic.
It was a very broad course, and it was our motorcycle mechanics teacher, Dale Martin. He was a tuner and a motorcycle racer when he was younger, and so he would tell us all the stories of traveling around the world, and I mean back then, you go in a trailer and you tow it behind a van, and you went across Europe, and with the motorcycle that did dirt tracks and did road races, and it was the same bike.
Just change tires and then just go.
Right, yeah, and things have changed a lot since then. The disciplines and the machines are very specific to the disciplines.
Right now, yes.
So but that being said, I really just had a passion for the stories that he would tell and the things that I learned in the classroom. And I could keep my motorcycle running. So I got a job at a motorcycle shop, and that's really where it started. So, I took the opportunity while I was working as a mechanic. I recognized a friend of mine was helping out somebody else that was racing.
Right.
And they would go to the racetrack, and back then, you filled your tires up with a bicycle pump, and you changed your own tires on the rim there. Breaking the bead was tough. You had to drive over the tire with the car to break the bead, right? And then you had tire irons on a barrel, and you found some way to balance it, right? But, really, that's how we did it.
You just used ingenuity to be I think it's balanced.
Right, yeah. And so I did that for 6 months, and at that time I realized that, I really enjoyed working on the bike, but I really enjoyed riding as well. So I figured out how I could save up enough to get a bike and take the new rider school. I took the new rider school, and I did fairly well at the new rider school, and I started doing a few races, and one thing led to another, and I struggled for probably 10 years as a motorcycle racer before I actually.
Oh, wait, hold on, wait a minute! You cannot tell me, Chuck Graves.
Yeah, I struggled. Yeah.
For 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years, probably 10 years. Yeah.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it took me that long to. Sometimes some guys get lucky and they get opportunity, and a team owner or something spots them and says, "Hey, that guy's got talent," and they fit all the molds. And but other guys, got to figure it out on their own. It wasn't until I could wrench on it and make it as fast as the other guys' bikes and ride it that well that somebody said, "Okay, we got to have them. It's either that or we have to race them." Right?
Right, yeah.
And so that's what happened. They said, well,
better of the evils.
Yeah, let's just put them on our team. It's easier. Which is probably not the... it may have hindered me as a rider, because I always thought I knew what needed to be done to the bike, or the crew thought they knew what needed to be done to the bike. So there's probably a balance there that was good or bad. In any case, it was a journey. And that grew into more stuff. I had the opportunity to continue to work on motorcycles while I had a crew that was working on my bikes. I would help other privateers at the club level make parts or special bits for their bikes.
So you're still privateer at this point in time?
No, by then I'm I've got a ride with a team that's taking care of all of my bikes.
Gotcha.
But I still had a nice little workshop and all the things that I'd been doing where I built my bikes originally.
Gotcha.
Before somebody else decided to pay me to do it.
Gotcha. Okay. Now.
So I utilized all of that equipment and my time to help other racers bring their careers up. When I was done racing as a professional,
gotcha.
I knew that I had built up a pretty good clientele business. During that time I'd started actually manufacturing parts for the team that I rode for. So this mechanic thing
engineering,
turned into engineering and developing parts and special pieces for our team's bikes. Which again, I was handing those down to the privateers, making that available to them. And so we built our company, Graves Motorsports, on building factory level parts at an affordable price for the privateer. And so when I was done racing, I continued that business model and built that into Graves Motorsports. And that's what Graves Motorsports is today. And obviously, 18 years ago, I struck up a relationship with Yamaha Motor Corp and started a partnership racing Yamahas at the professional level. And this is the results of that 18 years here now. So that's 30. That's 33 years in 5 minutes, right?
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, knowing that when people see the gravesport.com website, knowing that, or not knowing that you actually helped engineer that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah,
already
more-
had that
yeah.
stuff in mind
Yeah.
and already in the works
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
And people will say like, well, why would I spend, let's say, $500 on a Graves Motorsport rear set compared to other companies?
Well, I can tell you that that's so I'm not making the parts because I'm going to sell the most. I'm making every single thing that we make for a reason, and it might look similar, but there are a lot of nuances that people don't see.
Yeah.
And everything we do is for a reason. If it's using a different material, yeah, maybe it costs more. I don't care. If it's not right, we're not going to make it. And if I look at every product that we're going to sell, and if I wouldn't buy it, I'm not making it.
Or from my point of view, if you wouldn't race it.
Yeah, if I wouldn't race it, if I wouldn't buy it, why would I make it? I don't want to do it. It's like they're, and I have people inside the company that want to commercialize it that are always saying, "Hey, just make these," and guys want this stuff, but I'm not interested in doing it. So for the time being, Graves Motorsports will continue to do, to be limited on what we actually manufacture, because if we're going to make what we know works and at a quality level that we would put on our machines,
right.
And if we wouldn't put it on our machine, we just won't make it.
For myself, I have a variety of Graves tools, parts, rear sets. One thing I want to thank you immensely is the bracket holder for the R6.
Which one?
The rear brake bracket holder.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love the hell out of
Just that little tool.
Just that little tool.
Yeah.
And I've seen some people try to fabricate it or make it, and I don't think they really understand how much time it takes to make a simple little. That thing's about like 5-6 inches long,
Right.
about 13, 14 millimeters thick. I mean,
That's it.
you would think that's just like, oh, you just stick put a stick in it or something like that. It doesn't work.
Well, I can tell you something. So that's very interesting you bring that up. I was on. I get up really early in the morning, so I always go on Facebook and I go to the R1 forum and the R6 forum Facebook pages and
Shane,
look to see what's.
Shane, you're going to get shout out again.
Yeah. So I recognized somebody making one of those tools, and it was more expensive than ours, right? Which for the R6 is, I think, it's like $35.
35 plus shipping. Yeah.
Somebody was making one, but they said, "Hey, this thing's ours is aluminum versus the Graves is plastic." Well, ours isn't really plastic.
It's not.
It's not. It's Delrin.
Yeah.
But it's not aluminum for a reason, because. So I went on the Facebook.
I can imagine.
And I told this individual why we don't make it out of aluminum.
Wait, you actually told him?
I did. I why not tell him? Hey, what? If you're going to make them right? I think most guys will buy ours anyways.
I'm sorry if you get cursed out by Chuck Graves.
I didn't really curse him out. What I said was, there's a reason why we make these things out of Delrin.
Yeah.
And it's because when you have aluminum against aluminum, especially when it's hot, it starts to gall and it sticks, right? So that's why we make it out of Delrin. And then there's another thing I recognized they didn't do. We put a little tiny divot in it so that when you put it into the axle, it won't slide.
All the way through.
And then there's one other thing that they really missed the boat on. If you look at ours, it's been done in a fifth axis mill, which is a whole other process to put these lines in the side of it. And people probably go, "Oh, they just do that for decoration," but it's not, because when you push the axle back through in the pit and it falls out and it lands on the ground, then it rolls away when it's round. Well, we want is flats, so that when they push it out, it rolls once and then stops. I don't want the mechanic chasing it across the pit, right? So, but guys, these are the little things when I talk about the nuances of what's different about what we make. Those are the types of things that 30 years of experience bring to the table, and why we do those things. So, if the guys are going to copy our stuff, they've got to really pay attention when they copy it. It's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind that copy, because we never stop innovating at Graves. Never.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, every day I wake up and it's what can we do that's new?
I've noticed that there's always something new, or like I said, with me and Shane, I'm always hounding him because believe it or not, I know everyone doesn't quite know that you have, I believe, 3 or 2 bases. Based out of either Graves,
Georgia and California.
California, okay. I could have sworn it was a third one, but I'm not sure if it's in the making. Sorry, so I'm not going to let the cat out the bag. But me and Shane talk on a regular basis because he's one of the contacts that I have for the entire East Coast.
Yeah.
So when people want a particular part, or when they compare a particular part, maybe a particular R6, which I've noticed that within a couple of years, you've actually changed a couple of things. You've actually changed, I remember specifically, and some people's actually asking me that. Why have you changed from the adjustable rear set R6 to just a fixed R6?
Okay, so the adjustable rear set is designed on the onset when you have a new machine and new riders to that machine, and you haven't decided what's the best rider positioning. So you make the adjustable rear set. Now, we continue to make that because some teams and riders may not really know where they want the foot pegs to be, and they might want to do something different.
Right. -1.
And
right.
and once we find a location that's accurate, it's correct, and 99% of the guys we work with say that's where the foot peg's got to be, right? Then that's where we make it fixed. It's simpler, it's lighter, it costs less to produce, it's narrower, so your feet aren't out as far, and that makes a difference in the aerodynamics. Now, if you were to go out there and look right now, you'll see JD Beach has adjustable rear sets, and Garrett Gerloff has fixed. And the only reason is JD needs something very specific, and we haven't said that's the final location for JD Beach after 2 years.
3 years.
3 years. 3 years riding on the team, and he may want to move him still. So we'll leave him on the adjustable. So we make both still. But in most cases, I could just say for the new R1, 15, 16 R1, we have a location we worked with from the very beginning. Guys are totally settled. No one's changed it. So now our newest rear set for that'll be fixed only. We won't make an adjustable one.
You guys are hearing it here. This man is very extremely busy. I've had him alone, one-on-one with myself and you guys for over 15 minutes here at Road Atlanta. It's kicking on lunchtime. They're doing the fan walk, which I believe ends in about another 5 minutes.
You better get out there. There's monster girls out there.
It is crazy. I don't want to keep this busy man anything longer. I want to personally thank Mr. Chuck Graves himself. And you better make sure you thank him yourself by going out to see gravesport.com. And where can they reach you at? And let's say if we have a rider or a track day rider who I may find exceedingly exceptional, I want him to highlight, or I'm trying to highlight him to you for the next 2017, 2018 Super Sport rider.
Well, it depends on the age. So if he has some experience at the 600cc level, I would suggest that we get him to the next Moto America race that he can do. And they've got, a new platform, which it's pretty exciting in that the Super Sport class is run with the Super Stock 600 class. And the Super Stock is all very basic bikes, so the cost is low to get in and build a bike to be competitive. And the Super Sport is a little bit higher. But they all race on the racetrack at the same time, and then they have the opportunity to judge their skill set against these guys. And if they don't make it, then they have 2 chances throughout the weekend to run in what's called the last chance qualifier race, which, one, they'll improve their skill set, they'll learn more about the racetrack, and have the opportunity to get into the big show. And if it's a 600cc rider, that's what I'm suggesting.
And I don't want to cut you off. You saw me sitting next to you at pit wall. I videotaped that early on today during an LCQ. I guess you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a race that I'm liking.
Yeah.
And what happened to one particular racer just happened to had a engine problem or something like that.
It looks like he had maybe had an electrical problem. We were trying to help him out the day before. He was leading the race. We saw he had some kind of issue. We went over to find out what was going on. I'm not sure. I think the crew worked really hard last night for that rider, Tobolowski. I think it was
Toby something. Yeah, Toby Rosky.
Yeah. However you pronounce it. But,
yeah.
So and it looks like they didn't fix whatever the issue was.
Because he was doing pretty good.
He was leading again.
He had about a good almost second and a half, about a good 3-4 bike length lead.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, was it turn 7, turn 8, or right before the back straight.
Yeah.
Looked like he went pop, and it's just kind of like everybody was kind of like, oh.
Yeah, but hey, Jersey's 2 weeks out. He gets the opportunity to try again.
And that's the good thing, like I said, not knowing his age, not knowing his background, being able to.
He's getting noticed, right?
And that prime time airspace on BN Motorsports, I mean, that is definitely, BN Motorsports is just really helpful to any rider, up and coming, young, old. I don't think there's an age limit on it.
There's no age limit at all.
But I know you have to be at least 16 years old.
You have to be at least 16. If you're younger than 16, then
I think they have the KTM Cup and something else.
They have the KTM Cup. I'm not. I hate to be negative about the KTM Cup, but I'm not a big proponent of. What if the guy is a Yamaha fan and he owns an R3? Now, how can he come here? It really, to me, it should be open to let the R3s in the race or some other model.
I believe they should be open to
open it up.
Not just KTM. If they are going to do a KTM, then why not do an R3?
Well, I think that's splitting it up too much. But I think there's enough guys with enough stuff out there for these small bikes they're all very inexpensive, and if they could give them the same basic set of rules, and the guy with the most talent is going to come out on top 9 out of 10 times anyways.
And believe it or not, we all say what wins on Sunday
sells on Monday. And then that's what drives the sport.
Exactly.
Right.
It's all what people call it a vicious cycle. This is the most beautiful cycle
it is
in the world.
That's what everything's about. I mean, that's how things get better, through competition. And
not just competition. It's like, okay, he's got this bike, he's got that bike. I mean, they're all 390s or 300s or anywhere close to that.
Yeah.
Horsepower is pretty much dime on all of them, pretty much across the board.
Yeah.
Weight-wise, they're only about 5 pounds, 7 pounds off.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, there really is no competition between them. Why not combine them?
Right.
And Kawasaki can jump on board right now. I think there's a Triumph that can probably get on board with that.
And that would certainly reduce the cost to do it, for sure.
And then bring in more people to the U.S. market, because, like I said, with Moto America doing a fantastic job.
Instead of having 30 guys, maybe we would have 100.
I would love to see that. I mean, I see that all the time in British Super Sport bikes where they have the Triumph race.
Yeah.
And I see 30, 40, 50 bikes deep in that. Why can't we have that here? I would love to see that out here.
Yeah.
And see the young riders. Aaron's son, Ashton, I think he's a good racer. I've seen him play around a little bit. Just had a mishap this morning, or yesterday, had a mishap, just kind of lost it a little bit. But haven't seen his qualifying times today, but I'm going to be looking for him. And we're going to be talking with him later on. And who knows? He may jump KTM and jump right back on with Graves, because his dad was on Graves for almost 6 years.
No. Yates was a Suzuki rider.
Suzuki.
He was a Yosh guy.
Oh, Yosh. Oh, good Lord.
Now, Yosh did win a lot of races, so that's why you're associating. That's why you're thinking that, because we've been the king for so long here.
Jason and everybody else has got me all, because they've been around all the place. And like I said, I'm showing my age because I'm going back, 26 years.
26.
It's almost been 26 years. 90.
Since what?
I would say since the first Yamaha, not Yamaha reign, but the first Graves reign. I know it's been over 10 years.
Yeah. Well, 18 years with Yamaha. I've been with Yamaha.
18 years with Yamaha. Then you yourself has been out in California.
Yeah, I started in 1985.
So 85, that is 2021.
85.
No, 31 years. 31 years of racing, if not Graves' product.
Racing myself.
So we're going to end it here, people. 25 minutes of You Got It, the Graves man himself, Mr. Chuck Graves. You can't get it any better. You can't get it any sooner. If you have a Twitter name or anywhere they can get you at, please be my guest. Let them know where they can blast you at, or just make sure.
I don't have one. Blast Shane.
Shane does have it. But make sure you go Gravesport.com.
Gravesport.com.
That's where I harangue Shane at all the time, and plus the R6 forum, the R1 forum. I told Shane plenty of times, like, dude, I do this, do that, yada yada yada. He's like, find my post. Like, dude, there's 1,000 posts within 5 minutes. I'm not gonna find it. So we will harass Shane. Chuck Graves, I want to thank you so much again, personally. Everybody from JL Unlimited, all the fans, all the future fans, track day riders, novice riders, noobs, everybody. Street riders, yeah. Well, street riders transitioning. How about that?
That's right. That's how
I like that. Street rider transitioning.
Yeah.
I'm going to coin that phrase. You heard it. New coin, Chuck Graves. Street rider transitioning. We're going to sign out here. Make sure you come to the next Moto America round 2 weeks, New Jersey Motorsports Park. Make sure you hit online, gravesport.com, and make sure you follow your favorite rider or your favorite racer. America, I'm losing the whole again. MotoAmerica.com. Make sure you follow everything over there. Checking out. We will follow up with you guys later on with some more interviews and some more behind the scenes. See you guys later.